If you think working more is the only way to get rich, get ready to unlearn everything they told you, because the universe just opened a rare window, a crack between what you say and what turns into gold. This window is called Mercury Sextile Saturn, and it happens on May 26th. It's a rare alignment that connects the planet of ideas with the planet of structure. In other words, what you think, affirm, or write now has a real chance to become the concrete foundation of your life. During this transit, words become contracts, ideas become structure. Whatever you affirm with coherence now becomes matter. This isn't a metaphor. It's energetic coding in real time. You were never poor. You just used words that kept you stuck in scarcity, automatic phrases, defeatist declarations that I don't have, that's not for me, maybe someday. All of that turned into cement. And without knowing it, you built a house with the wrong words. But now, that house can collapse and give way to a new temple, built with vocabulary of destiny. Comment 909 now. That's the number that activates the restructuring of your words. 9 is the end of a cycle. 0 is the portal. Another 9, and you begin building wealth with your voice. This video isn't about desire. It's about coding, about declaring, grounding, and holding your truth. Up next, the signs that prove the window is already open. You think of something and feel a strange weight, as if the thought dropped into your body, as if it's no longer just floating around, but landing like a block. You say, I'm going to do this, and it's like an invisible contract just got signed. You feel the commitment before you even act. That's the first symptom of the transit. Thoughts gain weight. They're no longer light, distracted, or hypothetical. They're dense, magnetic. Mercury activates the mind, ideas, communication. Saturn brings structure, reality, form. When the two align, like now, thought becomes brick, idea becomes foundation. It's like every mental sentence is shaping your next week, your next opportunity, your next bank account. If you ignore this, you keep thinking the same way, directionless, aimless, groundless. But if you feel the weight and anchor it with focus and clarity, you start building. Wealth starts here, in the kind of thoughts you cultivate, in what you allow to exist as dense ideas. And in the next sign, you'll realize thinking isn't enough. You have to affirm. With strength, with voice, with vibration, you speak and something shifts. You say, I'm closing this deal. And it feels like the universe took notes. You affirm, my income will double this month. And deep down, it's like a gavel slammed on an invisible courtroom desk. That's the second manifestation of the transit. Affirmation becomes contract. Mercury rules the voice. Saturn rules contracts. Today, they're holding hands, and what you say with conviction is recorded. But here's the thing. It's not enough to just say anything. You have to speak with coherence. You feel it when you're speaking your truth, because the affirmation gives you chills. It makes the air vibrate. Time pauses for a second, and you know, it was heard. This is where many people slip. They speak on autopilot. They speak with doubt. They speak with fear hidden in their words. But right now, in this exact moment, your words carry an energetic signature. And every clear affirmation becomes a foundation. Comment 909 now if you want to declare something new. This number anchors the field, seals the intention, locks in the vibration. And subscribe to this channel, because this is a vibrational space, a space of living words, of wealth spoken into existence. In the next sign, you'll realize that listening is just as sacred as affirming. You hear something and understand it like never before. A phrase you've heard 1,000 times suddenly lands like a code. A casual conversation that out of nowhere becomes a sign, a word someone says, and something inside you responds. This isn't random. It's the third symptom of the transit. Disciplined listening. Mercury rules inner hearing. Saturn rules filtering. Together, they teach you to listen with responsibility. Today, every sound could be a map, every voice a reflection, every word you hear a vibrational test. You realize some people drain you with their words. Others, they charge you up. You begin to notice the layers behind what's being said. And most importantly, you start to hear your own voice in the world. Yes, it's like what you need to hear is being spoken by others, but sent by you from another timeline. That's Saturn showing you planted, now you're harvesting. But if you ignore what you hear, if you keep letting in every bit of noise, you pollute the field of your own speech. Active listening is part of the wealth ritual because the universe responds. And if you don't listen, you repeat. In the next sign, what appears isn't sound, it's silence. And it's even more powerful. You're about to speak, but you don't. Something holds back. Something says, wait. You feel the urge to post, to reply, to declare. But there's a pause. And in that pause, silence. This is the fourth symptom, purposeful silence. It's not blockage, it's vibrational intelligence. Saturn sets boundaries. Mercury senses timing. Today, you feel that talking too much wastes power, that saying everything waters down your impact, that speaking too soon is like picking fruit before it's ripe. This is the silence that sharpens, that stores up energy, to be released at the right time. You don't need to answer everything. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to explain your every move. Your words are worth more when they're born from the right silence. That's the code. Speak less. Speak dense. Only speak when you feel the weight of truth in your throat. Because every time you speak out of sync, you break the chain. But when you speak after the silence, the world listens. Get ready, because in the next sign, silence becomes action, and decision becomes a portal. You feel like there are no more excuses. Procrastination, once almost comforting, now feels irritating. Doubt, once your safety net, now looks like sabotage. The maybe later you used to repeat sounds fake, even to yourself. This is the fifth sign of activation, the firm decision that vibrates in your spine. You don't need more proof, more time, more signs. What used to be a plan is now an urgency, but not an anxious urgency. It's sharp, mature, quiet, almost silent. It's Saturn, whispering, now or never. You realize everything you postponed is watching you, as if your opportunities had eyes, and they want to see what you'll do with the time you've got left. Mercury brings the idea. Saturn says, build it. And true decision comes at a cost. You'll have to let go of old selves. Versions of you that always hesitated, needed guarantees, waited for external approval. Those versions will scream now. They'll say, but what if it fails? What if it's not for you? What if no one sees it? And you'll have to answer in silence, with action. Because real decisions don't need explanations. They just need to be made. A real decision doesn't need an audience. It shifts the air around you. This is the portal between word and gesture, between intention and execution. If you say you want to prosper, but don't take the first concrete step, the universe doesn't get it. Because in this transit, only those who act confirm. Only those who decide manifest. And when you move, something responds. That's what the next symptom is all about. You say something and something happens right after. You write down an intention, and the same day, you get a response. You declare a path, and a coincidence clears the way. But it's not magic. It's alignment. This is the sixth symptom, instant feedback. You send out a clear vibration with your words, and reality responds precisely. Maybe not how you expect, maybe through rejection, through delay, through redirection, but it's still a response. It's active life. It's an open field. Mercury sextile Saturn is one of the rare alignments where time seems to listen, where the universe reflects your vibrational field in a logical way. And that can be scary, because you realize you're being taken seriously. Life isn't playing with you anymore. It's mirroring you, and that demands responsibility. If you declare doubt, you get delay. If you speak crisis, you get scarcity. If you say, "I don't know," the world pauses in silence. Coherent speech is now a switch. If it's true, the world turns on. It could be something small, an email, a memory, a person, an image, but it's the universe saying, "Got it? Let's go." This transit doesn't just accept intention, it demands presence. It's like a drum. You hit, it hits back. But if you don't hear the beat in return, there's no point in hitting harder. You need to change the rhythm of your vibration. Right now, the world is tuned into your voice. Use it wisely, because the echo can lift you up or trap you in more of the same. And in the final sign, you'll understand that wealth isn't about luck. It's about ritual. You start small. A sentence written every day. A sticky note on the mirror. 3 minutes of silence before work. An affirmation whispered before bed. And slowly, what felt symbolic starts reorganizing your reality. You feel more presence, more discernment, more clarity about why some things used to feel so hard. This is the seventh and final sign of the transit, the ritual of manifestation. Wealth doesn't begin with a big contract or a magical breakthrough. Wealth begins with repeated, anchored intention, with energetic discipline, with your body becoming the altar of your word. Mercury brings the code, Saturn demands the routine, and together they build what few can sustain, a life where every gesture has meaning and every repetition holds power. You're not just writing, you're sculpting a field. You're not just speaking, you're signing vibrational contracts. You're not listing goals out of habit. You're installing a new internal architecture. This is when intentions become paths, when the field stops being imagined and starts being inhabited. Those who repeat with faith activate what once seemed impossible, because this is where many give up. They think repetition is failure, that routine is a prison. But in Saturn's field, routine is construction, and construction needs time, consistency, and grounded faith. If you keep going, even when it feels pointless, one day you look around and realize it's done, it was planted, it was maintained, and now it bloomed. And that's how we close, with the awareness that you don't just wish for wealth. You've become its living ritual. You're not a spectator of your wealth, you're the channel. You are the mouth that declares, the mind that builds, the hands that repeat, the body that anchors. This transit didn't come to promise abundance. It came to hand you the key and see if you have the courage to use it. The courage to think differently, to speak with intention, to decide without needing approval, to stick with what you started, to repeat it until it becomes real. This isn't coaching, This isn't self-help. This is energetic architecture. You are the temple. You are the architect. You are the builder. And it all begins with a sentence, a word, a code. Comment 909 now. That's the seal, the vibrational anchor, the number that says, I'm rewriting my pact with the world. And share your sentence too. A declaration, a micro-commitment, something that, when read a month from now, makes your field say, I started there. If this resonated with you, don't let it slip. Click like, subscribe, type 909. These aren't clicks, they're contracts. It's your field saying, I'm in. And the universe listens. The window is open, the field is clear. The word is alive. Now, speak and build.